What's up? What's up, everybody? This is your boy Doc Holiday, and we got the co-star SheLovesThee. This is a simulcast going on right here. How you?
Hey, how you doing?
Let me see. So I can't hear you. What's going on, everybody?
What's
Hold
up?
on one
What's up?
second.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? You said you ain't hearing me.
I hope everybody's having a good night, good evening. Um, while we're here today, and we everybody's already seen the brackets being put out, but we about to do it with our own twist, man. So we decided that we were gonna do this, and what see how decided we're gonna do this, and see how the teams are gonna be, where they're gonna be paired up, especially
Can
for
you
the
hear me now?
WNIT, the NIT, and the NCAA tournament. Uh, you got HBCU band talk. What's going on? Got Uncle Sid in the building as always. Brother Bakari, peace and blessings. Granny Ann, how you doing? Coach Perry, Coach P, what's going on, man? We got Coach Perry in here, Jack State alum. So, man, we trying to get some more people come up in here, but um, trying to see uh, if we can hear some of it. Can't.
Can
Hey,
you hear
can you
me?
hear something? Can say
Can
something?
you? I am saying something. Can you hear me?
And I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me?
What up, Los?
Oh, I don't know what's going on with my microphone.
Can anybody hear the co-host? Okay, it must be me. But let me see something.
Can you hear me now? 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 Oh, okay. Well, they said they can hear me, so it must be you. Hello, everybody.
Got Robert Herring. How you doing? Let me see. I can hear. They can hear me, but I can't hear you. So
They said that they
let me
can hear
see
me, so I
something.
guess it might be something with your.
One day we're gonna work this out. It's gonna be worked out. Let me see. Robert Herring, Plano, Texas, already. Hold on. Try to say something now.
Can you hear me now?
It's on my end.
Everybody else can hear me.
Yeah, it's on my end.
All right.
I'm still say something.
Say something, I'm giving up on you. You heard that?
uh, okay, I'm starting to hear you now. Ooh, yeah, we're gonna get into all that, everybody.
We
We
are
don't.
ready for the show.
What's
Who we
that?
starting with? Are we starting with the NIT first? Are we starting with NCAA? We starting with the men? The women's is just now getting announced
Okay,
right now.
all right. So, do you have the bracket for the men's
Uh-oh.
tournament?
South Carolina will be going against Norfolk State. They just announced it.
Ooh,
They just announced it.
ooh.
Um,
Southern is lucky. Southern is lucky.
what they lucky for?
Southern is lucky because they ain't got to go up against South Carolina.
Oh, what I mean, if you still do have to kind of go against them.
Yeah, but in a sense, as the the overall number one seed, I do not want to play against them.
You don't want to play against them starting out, or you want them to get upset by somebody else
I'd
to
rather get them upset by somebody else. I ain't look. I ain't trying to play with them. That's the real monsters right there. That's like literally that's the real monsters right there.
Well, Norfolk is going against them. So, what you think?
But I think,
Yeah.
um, I think they can actually. Well, shoot, they have to make it a game. They got to make it a game.
Well, let's talk about some of Norfolk State's. Let's talk about some of their positives. Like, what do they have going for themselves, and how can they maximize that?
They have a standing defense. I give them that.
Okay.
Um, they're well coached. I would give you that also. But the reason why I say that is the fact that I do not on the women's side, men or women, I really wouldn't want to play the overall number one team in the tournament, especially if you're coming off of what I'm saying, like especially if you're playing if you are one of those conferences that play today, your conference final, um, you got a little bit more momentum. A lot of those teams that you see play, like they'll finish out early in the week. Some probably finished out last week. I'd rather get, I'd rather catch somebody else than to catch them girls right there.
Mm, 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 mm.
But they are well coached by Coach Vickers um, and assistant coach Kevin Lynham. Shout out to him. Um, one thing I need to see them do a little bit more. What I saw from what I saw when they played Howard yesterday is I need to see them crash the boards a little bit more, and I need to see them shoot free throws.
Mm. Listen, when I say that you're the three free throws, and that's even seeing as would they even get these types of calls against these blue blood programs?
Right, right. But like they said, like people, who was that? Mr. Ford said it the other day. It's a game of runs. Like you got to be on a run, and when you on that run, like you can't let up. Like it, like you have to be able to force your will on them.
Mm, 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 mm. Crazy. Well, I'm rooting for everybody black. No, I mean I'm
That's
rooting for every HBCU. That's for sure and for
I
certain.
I give you this, brother Bakari. Norfolk State should not be another 16 seed. I think they should be there should have been a 15 seed or 14 seed at best.
I wonder why it was like that.
Um, it was a thing that they said like playing like quadrant wins and stuff like that. Somebody had to. We was talking on this on Twitter, and it was kind of explained to me how they do the how many quadrant wins or regional wins that you have, how many non-conference opponents that you have. This is a whole bunch of stuff that goes with it. But then too, you also have to perform during the regular season and in the postseason.
They only want certain types of programs to be upset. So by placing the HBCU at the 16th seed, I think when they looked, I know on the men's side, it's only happened like once in out of like hundreds and hundreds of different.
Right.
Right now, if you want to like open up another section, I can copy and paste it. They're basically doing the live for the women's show.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I noticed is they are really hard. They're promoting South Carolina and whatever storyline they're going to have behind South Carolina.
Oh yeah. That's always what's going to happen because they're the number one seed. They're going to try to find something where it's one of those feel good stories that you have.
And I think it's a sad reality, which a lot of people, it just depends on who you talk to. When you start saying, oh, strength of schedule, they always use that against HBCUs. But the reality of it is that certain programs will get the benefit of the doubt automatically. And HBCUs, what do you have to be? You have to do twice as much. You have to be twice as good to get half.
Right. Okay, so they haven't done the men's NIT bracket yet, so that'll be done tonight also.
Oh yeah, let me go ahead and pull up the let me see the bracket. South Carolina. I'm gonna try to see if I can find the You want me to pull up the men's? Because they're doing a bracket reveal right now. It's live.
For the NIT?
No, the NIT is not going to be done until after all of the teams have been announced, and then it'll be so basically by 9:00. That's when they'll announce the WNIT bracket. So for right now, they have the men's bracket.
Okay, go ahead and pull that. We'll pull that one up right there. And I got the. Are you talking about the NCAA men's bracket?
Yeah.
Okay, I got that one.
Okay, yeah, because the WNIT isn't announced until after. I mean, they already announced some people, but I looked, and Texas Southern always gets placed the same way they did Norfolk State. They kind of place them so that they automatically get even if they do get past that little game that they have to do, the playing game.
They go up against the number one seed.
Which is I don't.
But see, they're not the overall number one seed. The overall number one seed for the men's tournament is Alabama, and I'm trying to figure out.
The one that had the murderer, ain't it?
Yeah,
no, he wasn't. He wasn't the one. Let me fix that. Let me fix that.
Let you fix that.
He did not actually commit the murder. He was an accessory to murder because he handed the murder weapon to the person that actually committed the murder.
Right.
I don't know anywhere else that's definitely, I don't know. Anywhere else that's that. Here, let's go ahead and oh yeah, you got it up. The men's.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Actually, no, Alabama has the overall number one seed. But as I'm gonna say it just like this. The field is 68, all right. Not too many people can see this. But so Alabama is the overall number 1 seed. They will be taking on either the winner of the A&M Corpus Christi SEMO matchup. That is a play-in game right there. Also, I got my little banner in the way. Also, if you see, Houston is the number 2 overall seed. So they are 31-3. They took the L today, a 10-point loss to Memphis. Coach Penny Hardaway and his Memphis Tigers take out Houston, who's been rolling, who's been cruising for the most of the year. They dropped into the second number 1 seed, and this is in the Midwest. So they'll be taking on Northern Kentucky. And then you have Purdue that's in the East bracket. They will take on, like I said, they'll take on the winner of the play-in game between Texas Southern and Fairleigh Dickinson. And number 4, the last number 1 seed is Kansas. They will take on Howard. I'm going to say it just like this. Howard should not have been a number 16 seed. I think Howard should have been a 15 seed after this. Howard to me should have been a 15 seed at this.
You know that perpetually HBCUs are placed at the 16 seed.
True.
We don't get, they said that they get around $2.1 million a game, but you don't get $2.1 million for a play-in game.
Shoot.
Somebody said you get paid $2.1 million a game for like winning.
Yeah.
But you don't get $2.1 million for the play-in game.
No, you get paid for the play-in game.
Not $2.1 million.
I don't know about $2.1 million, but you do get paid for the play-in game. If you go to Howard's non-conference.
And we have to. The reason why we have to do a play-in game is because they weren't the actual conference winner. Is that why they have to do? Why do we have to do a play-in game?
So the play-in game, because what it was is that they figure you can make more. Well, one, it's a money grab. They figure you can make more money if you do a play-in game. So that's a Tuesday, Wednesday affair, and then it awards the 16 seed to actually win a actual tournament game. Because in reality, the play-in game is actually a tournament. It's an actual tournament game. So the play-in game is really your first round.
That's not fair either. I don't think that's fair. Because you're gonna already have played an extra game.
Well, in a sense, is they made it like that to where, like I said, you could be a 16 seed.
It's like, look, you made the tournament, but you gotta play another one. So Fairleigh Dickinson has a play-in game against Texas Southern.
Mm-hmm.
And
Texas Southern's in streaking because they're on a 3-game winning streak.
Okay, well, we need them to be on a 5-game winning streak for the swag. But how long of a time do they get before the next game?
So what it is, if you're playing in a play-in game, you're automatically you automatically either play on a Thursday or Friday. I mean, but you also have to understand during tournament time, there's no room for error. You have to be You have to be A1.
You have to be on your P's and Q's every
Game,
time.
like every game. That
Right.
and if like if you look at it when you watch, let's just say for example, we watched um we watched Southern we watched Southern not take that we watched Texas Southern and Grambling, right?
Right.
That was the championship game yesterday. Um,
For me, I
Texas
just
Southern caught them slipping.
right. So just like Southern caught Jackson State slipping. I mean, I will give them their props because that number 2 and number 20, I'm telling you, they some shooters. But my thing is this: the same way y'all was going off versus Jackson State, in the same way y'all started up in the second half against UAPB, like you have to be that way from first quarter on up through the fourth. There is no like catching somebody off guard. If anything, you need to be on your P's and Q's for the whole game. The
So
whole
just look at it like this: conference tournament play, right? Let's say Jackson State for example, right? First round game, the quarterfinal game. What do? We we had to scratch and claw from a 15-point deficit, and we won the game by 2. Then you get your break, and then the next day on that Friday, you went up against Grambling. Grambling, you got a 12 to 15 point lead against Grambling. You let Grambling come back into the game like unannounced and and closed it out. And then what irritated me was shooting all those 3-point shots and just being lazy. You can't do that. Like tournament time, you cannot be lazy. You have to be, like I said, you you can't. And some my granny say you can't get caught with your pants down. You can't. It just won't happen. It just don't happen like that. Um, and it is one time they did beat a number 1 seed, got lost to a number 16 seed. That was uh, Maryland, Baltimore County. I think that was 2008, 17, 18. It was one of those years. That's the only time a number 1 seed fell to a 16 seed. And basically, them dudes caught them slipping. Um, they couldn't shoot. The Virginia couldn't shoot worth a lick. Uh, and they basically played the type of game that Virginia will play against you to slow it down, grind it down, and they caught them slipping. So you cannot go into the tournament like half-assed.
I mean, for me, it's just a matter of just representing well. We're gonna support win, lose, or draw. Of course, we would love to see our schools perform good. I will say this that let's say Jackson State does lose by, or not Jackson State, but Texas Southern or Southern, or even Norfolk State or Howard, if they lose by 20 or 30, the narrative that will be placed on HBCUs is not the same narrative as Missouri losing by 30, Arizona losing by 30, or Duke losing by 30. The
Nah,
narrative that they put out about HBCUs is they don't have good talent, but you could have a Power 5 school lose by 30 and they're not going to be judged as harshly as an
oh no,
HBCU.
no, no. I no. They will judge them harshly because if you are a Power Five, if you are
Somebody
if
lose
you
to Alabama by 30, they are not going to judge them as harshly as they would Southern losing to somebody by 30.
no, what I'm saying, no, yes, they will. Because the reason why I say that, the way that you lose, and it is moved, and the goalpost is moved for us, but the way that you lose, like if you're the number one seed in the tournament, basically you're supposed to blow through everybody. And then when it comes to that final four, it's supposed to be all number one seeds in that final four. It don't get no better than that. So um let's see. So on the West, the number two seed at UCLA, they are playing against UNC Asheville. I think they're from the Big South. Um, Northwestern is going to take on Boise. That's a 7-10 matchup. Gonzaga is at number 3 is taking on Grand Canyon at 14. Uh, TCU, who is the 6th seed, is going to take on the winner of either the Arizona State versus Nevada team. So that game right there. So that's for the 11th seed right there. So that's a play-in game too. Um, UConn, who's coming in at the 4th seed in the West, is taking on Iona, 13th seed. St. Mary's from the West Coast Conference is going to go up against Virginia Commonwealth, who is the 12th seed. 8-9 matchup. Those are very, very interesting for you right there. Number 8, Arkansas is going to take on number 9, Illinois. And then, of course, like I said, number 1, Kansas, who is the 4th number 1 overall seed, is taking on Howard, who is the 16th seed, who is basically the last team to get in. And then you can say, look at it like this. Vanderbilt did play Grambling. Grambling did beat Vanderbilt at Vanderbilt. So, and they beat Colorado. So, like I said, it's the narrative. You could go out there and beat these teams. Let's see. In the Midwest, you got number 1, the second number 1 seed, Houston, taking on Northern Kentucky. 8-9 matchup. Iowa is going up against Auburn. 5-12 matchup. Miami is going up against Drake University. That's true. Number 4, Indiana. Number 4, Indiana squares off against number 13, Kent State. Number 6, Iowa State is going to play the winner of this play-in game for the 11th seed, Mississippi State versus Pittsburgh. Number 3, Xavier takes on number 14, Kennesaw State. Number 7, Texas A&M they matched up with number 10, Penn State, and number 2, University of Texas, horns down. I do not like them. Is taking on number 15 seed Colgate Raiders. Let's see what we got. On the East, number 1, Purdue, who is the 3rd number 1 overall seed, is going up against, like I said, the winner of the Texas Southern versus Fairleigh Dickinson squad. Mr. Ford, how you doing? Mr. Ford, can you hear me? Uh-oh. Yeah, probably not that thing. So on the East, So Texas Southern versus Fairleigh Dickinson. So that's for your 16 seed. Memphis, the 8 seed, going up against Florida Atlantic for the 9th seed. Duke, who I thought had a pretty decent year. It really wasn't a lot of hoopla, but they're the number 5 seed, going up against Oral Roberts out of the Horizon League. And watch out for that Oral Roberts team. They're 30-4, and they gave them a 12 seed, which that's a robbery right there. How you doing, Mr. Ford?
Hey, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hey, Mr. Mona.
How you doing, Mr. Ford?
I've been listening.
I don't need you to be listening.
I've been listening.
We need for you to break it down historically about HBCUs and playing in this NCAA tournament.
Well, you said it right now. Let me just say something to make everybody mad. Let me just say this. We actually don't belong in this tournament. We are the money that we have. We should be the Division II or NAIA. Now, I just want to put that disclaimer out there because I know people get mad with me for telling the truth, but that's the truth. To go back to what you were talking about earlier, why they do the play-in game. The play-in game was put in because we had black schools like Coppin State that shocked the world one year and beat South Carolina.
Hampton.
We had Hampton that beat, was it Iowa State?
Yep.
And they was real pissed off about that. Then the last one they was really pissed off about. Well, it's 2 or 3 that was pissed off about. Norfolk State boys. They had the Quinn. What's his name? Quinn.
Kylo Quinn.
They beat Missouri. They was real pissed off about that one. And then the other one that was really pissed off about was Southern beat Georgia Tech one year.
Yep.
And so to stop that stuff from happening, that's when they added the play-in. That's to keep us from actually getting into the real tournament. That's why the play-in was put in. Now, I was
trying to figure it out, Mr. Ford. I was like, that don't make no damn sense. Either you make the tournament or you make the tournament. Don't be over here.
But it's also a money play, though, too.
Yeah. Well, and to get back to something you said, Mr. Tony, you was talking about. Now, according to the historians now, they say that actually in the beginning, the NCAA wanted nothing to do with HBCUs. For many, many years, they didn't want nothing to do with us. We had to go through what is called the NAIA. And that's what we had to play if we were going to play in the quote-unquote dominant coaches tournament. They wouldn't let us in the NCAA. We had to go NAIA. But the thing that most of these critics of the NCAA tournament, Division I tournament, their thing is that it's set up for 25 schools to win it. Now, the biggest shock for me today, I'm going to be honest with y'all, is that they left North Carolina Tar Heels out of this tournament. I can't believe that.
They were the last 4 to be out right there.
Yeah,
they were the last one.
And then the other thing is they're from the ACC because the media lies to us, right? You know, the media lies and says that the best basketball in college basketball is in the ACC. That's a lie. The best basketball conference is that Big 12, and it's been that way for at least 15 years.
I won't even call it the Big 12. I call it the Kansas Invitational.
Well, you know what? But I'm going to say this now. There's some great teams in that Big 12, man.
Oh, yeah,
and listen, you talking about Kansas has won it. Baylor has won it. You know what? I got respect for Texas now.
Yep.
I'm going to be honest with you. I was shocked when they fired Rick Barnes. I really was. I was shocked when they fired Rick Barnes.
Don't get me wrong. Rick Barnes was a hell of a coach.
I thought he was too, and he's doing well up in Tennessee. Now, this is going to be interesting, but I got to say this: several things. 2 things I got to say. Number one, I've been sad. One of my heroes died. I think he died Wednesday or Thursday. He was a Prairie View alum. His name was Otis Taylor. And when I was a little boy, I was introduced to the NFL. Where at that time it was the NFL and the AFL. We loved the AFL more because they had more black players and they had all these black players from the HBCUs. Well, he was one of the top ones. He was with the Kansas City Chiefs, and he was at one wide receiver. The other wide receiver, he was from Southern University. His name was Frank Pitts. But all along, I thought, you know, Doc, you and I have talked about this.
Yeah.
If you go back and look at those early Kansas City Chiefs team, black colleges was all over the field. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing I've been kind of sad about, Mr. Moan, I got to say this, and y'all gonna get mad with me. I got to say this. And I'm so sad about this. Guys, do y'all know that the MEAC tournament is so much better than the SWAC tournament? Did y'all notice that?
I noticed it.
Listen, we got to do better, y'all.
Fan engagement or just everything overall?
Just listen, here's my thing about it. And it's a little bit of everything. See, to me, the MEAC has been a visionless conference for about the last 25 years. You start with this lady that they have now. She was trained by Dennis Thomas, who did absolutely nothing. To me, the last really good commissioner for the MEAC probably was Ken Free. And guys, that's been years ago. I think Ken Free was maybe 30 years ago. You MEAC folk on there, when was Ken Free the commissioner of the MEAC? That's the last time you had a good commissioner. But I just looked at it. Okay, here's what's depressing. Friday night at the SWAC tournament, we only had 1,700 paid attendance. Saturday at the championship, we only had 1,400 paid attendance. Now, you could see for yourself that the scope had at least 6,000 to 7,000 people in there. And I think it was more than that.
I think it was a little bit more than that.
I think it got
more. I think it was more than that because of the fact, just like you was telling me last week, the scope, that's a home game. That's literally a home game for Norfolk State.
Right. And I'm just kind of depressed about this. And I got to say this again before I give up the floor. I love Dr. Charles McClellan, but I believe that Dr. McClellan and the SWAC staff are guilty of neglect when it comes to SWAC men and women's basketball, including the tournament. They're guilty.
You got anything to say about that, Brother Bakari?
Peace. What's up, man? Thanks for letting me up here. What's up, Mr. Fold?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Bakari?
I got a couple things I heard Mr. Fold talking about. I ain't trying to debate, but I'm gonna tell you something. Like, it wasn't the NAIA. The NIT used to be the main tournament. That was the main.
And but the NIT was in New York.
I'm talking about that was the main tournament, right? They used to be,
before the NCAA. Yeah, but we didn't compete in the NIT now.
Yes, we did. That's what I'm getting ready to tell you right now.
Okay, who was it?
I'm going to tell you right now. The first ones to win any of the major tournaments was Alcorn. Mississippi State was a #1 seed and was picked to win. They were talking about they're going to win the NIT. Alcorn went on the road and whooped them. That's why they stopped.
That's right. I remember that. That's 77 or 78. What year?
I can't remember the year.
Okay.
That's why these schools stopped playing Alcorn in basketball for so long. Alcorn got the greatest basketball coach in history on any level. I don't care what nobody say. Dave Whitney.
David Whitney.
But let me stop you right there. They didn't win the NIT because they went, and I think they were defeated by Indiana in the next round.
I know. No, see, they played Indiana in the NCAA tournament, right? That's what I was just getting ready to speak on. They played Indiana in the first round. Alcorn almost beat Indiana. They cheated. Indiana went on to win the national championship. Indiana went on to win the national championship. And after the game, after the championship game, they talked to Bob Knight. Bob Knight said the biggest mistake the NCAA tournament did was having Alcorn State play them in the first round because that was the best team he played in the tournament.
Yeah, I remember that. But they didn't win the NIT.
No. They never won. I'm just saying they won a game.
Okay.
And they were also the first HBCU to win a game in the NCAA tournament with Dave Whitney. But what they do to the HBCUs, remember when Nolan Richardson was at Arkansas, what they do is they put them, not only do they put a good HBCU 16 seed? They was automatically pitting them against a black coach. Texas Southern against Nolan Richardson the year they won the national championship. They had Texas Southern, Arkansas had to make 2 free throws in the final seconds to take it in over. Then once the tournament, once you get to the Sweet 16, you hear people. The biggest thing, Dick Vitale, the biggest thing was Texas Southern shouldn't have been less than a 10 seed, but none of them said it before the tournament. Then when Dave Whitney had good teams, when Patrick Ewing was at Georgetown.
Yeah.
They won their first game, but they had it set up where they played Georgetown the next game. Georgetown went on, of course, they went to the Final Four. But they always do it to the HBCUs. But if anybody was reading in the chat, when I put in there, Jackson State women going to the women NIT is a blessing. Because you know who Jackson State women would have played in that first round?
South Carolina.
They would have, because they don't want them to win. So when I say it's a blessing, what we don't understand, they are in a tournament that they can win. And it's a national tournament. And you can hang that if they win. And I believe they got the ability to win. They can hang that banner in there. You know what that can do for recruiting. You know what that do for the momentum of the program. But then not just for Jackson State. It's also doing it for HBCUs. But of course, Jackson State first because they're the ones winning. But they are showing that we can play and we can compete. I'm telling you, what they did to Norfolk State was wrong. I know he said like a 14. I don't think Norfolk State should have been worse than at the worst 13 seed.
Even some people that's MEAC guys. My guy Dave, he said Norfolk State should have been at least a 15 seed or a 14 seed, no higher than that.
I would say 30, because the thing, no, they didn't beat no Power 5, but if you look, they beat a couple of mid-majors who have. It's not Norfolk State fault that William and Mary is not good this year. It's not their fault. They beat a couple of mid-majors that's normally in the NCAA tournament.
Right.
And
Well, I want to get some clarification right here. Now, you're saying that Alcorn was the first black school in the NIT?
They won. They were the first ones.
They won a game. They beat Mississippi State. But I'm saying, are you saying that they were the first black team in the NIT?
They were the first one to win in the NIT and the first one to win in the NCAA tournament.
But are you saying but my question is, are you saying that they were the first team to participate in the NIT?
Oh, well, as far as I know, they was the first.
No. You got to go back and look at Maryland Eastern Shore. At that time, they were known as Maryland State. In the early 70s, they participated in the NIT. Go back and look at Maryland Eastern Shore. They were in it in the 70s.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I know like the first one to
Now,
win.
you're right about them winning, because I remember the Mississippi State team had Ricky Brown, who would eventually play pro ball, I think, for the Golden State Warriors and the Atlanta Hawks. Yeah, you're right about that. But I'm saying they were not the first black team to participate in NIT.
And you're right. Okay. Well, I just knew that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna tell you what happened to SWAC basketball, men basketball especially. Like those players from Jackson that might be rated a 3-star today, a 4-star, or you find the ones from these small towns. Like it was a long time ago when I was in high school. And Slick Watts, you remember Slick Watts?
Slick Watts, Seattle Supersonics, and went to Xavier.
Yeah, his son played at Mississippi State, right? But when you start seeing those players was not going to places like Mississippi State and Ole Miss. They was happy to go play at Jackson State and Alcorn. That's why, if you go look up, y'all know who Purvis Short is?
And Eugene Short.
Yeah. Go look up. Now these players, they're 3-star. Because they've been rated all of a sudden, they would rather go set the bench for 3 seasons instead of going somewhere where they can play and win and get in the NCAA tournament, play in some of those schools during the regular season. And that's what happened. We lost black pride. That's what I say. And even when you look at that, when I say we lost black pride, that's why you can't name one black coach that's ever been in the college football playoffs. Not only do they not go to HBCUs is where I want them to go, they don't even play for black coaches. And I really hope they don't play for the one that went to Colorado, but they don't even play. They don't even play for black coaches. How many black coaches won a national title in basketball? John Thompson was the first. Then after John Thompson came Nolan Richardson.
Right.
Then after Nolan Richardson came the dude he coached at Kentucky, Tubby Smith.
Tubby Smith, yeah.
And the only one of them that truly stood for something black was John Thompson.
Yeah.
Nolan wasn't bad now.
Oh,
Nolan Richardson wasn't bad.
I'm gonna be honest. This is just my personal opinion. I don't think no black man that married a white woman stand for something black. They're just me.
I thought she was Latino.
No, she's black.
She's
white?
She was white.
Oh, she's white. Okay.
And then not only that, when they finally retired him a couple years ago or whatever, they gave him a day. He get up there and he's speaking and he talking about how he forgive people. Those people treated Nolan Richardson so bad in Arkansas. When they started going down, driving by, shooting all his horse, they killed about 3 of his horses. They was messing with his farm.
Yeah, I remember how they did. You know, his daughter died with leukemia, and they were real nasty.
Yeah, John Thompson. I remember when John Thompson won, and you can find his interview on YouTube. Right after they asked John Thompson, "How does it feel to be the first African American head coach to win a national championship?" John Thompson said, "That question is an insult. By asking me that, you are saying I'm the only one that qualified. I am the only one that ever had the opportunity."
Right. Because Big House Gaines for years was the winningest coach, and there was a guy at Norfolk. He was a Kansas graduate. This guy Katz wrote a book on him. He was at North Carolina Central, and he was at Tennessee State. John McClendon. John McClendon was the godfather of black college basketball for many years.
And you right when you talk about Big House Gaines, but see, I'm biased, so I'm gonna always say Dave Whitney. But Dave
Whitney was awesome. Now, one of the people that helped train Dave Whitney was John McClendon. He helped train Jack, because see, Dave actually was a baseball player. He was in the Negro Leagues, and I think he played baseball and basketball at Kentucky State, because Dave is from Kentucky State. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. I mean, I talked to Coach. I met Coach. I remember the big guy he had with him, Lonnie Walker. I remember Lonnie's wife, Miss Walker. I saw the team. Wait a minute. He had the team. Them boys were from Jackson, Mississippi. This was the '85 team. What were them guys' named? One was named Archie.
Eddie Archie was the point guard.
That's right. One guy went pro. He was a shooting forward.
Michael Phelps.
That's right.
Talking about Michael Phelps, and Aaron Brandon was the 2. And they had Tommy Collier. I think Tommy Collier had a cup of coffee in the NBA. And they had Tommy Collier, the brother of Reggie Collier, the black quarterback down there.
That's right. And his son was a 6th man, right? Wasn't Coach Whitney's son the 6th man?
So. Yeah,
they called him Peanut or Pete. What they called him, Peanut or Pete?
Dave Whitney Jr. Yeah, that's when we used to. Because think about it, if you look back then, to let you know how they did the SWAC, it used to be Alcorn, Jackson State, and Alabama State.
Right, that was Coach Oliver.
Those were the 3 schools that was good. They were going to have a good team about every year. And if you honest. And if we honest, there's at least, it should have been back then. We had at least a 5-6 year run where there should have been at least 2 teams from the SWAC. But they weren't giving us no at-large bids.
No.
Alabama State had this dude, Machine Gun Kelly. That's what they used to call him. That was.
I think Kelly went to Texas Southern, didn't he?
Oh, he went to Texas Southern.
He played for Coach Moreland.
Thought he went to Alabama State. But
they did it. Now the coaches, the girls' coach at Alabama State, her husband played for Coach Oliver. What's her name? Frida. What's that girls' coach's name at Alabama State? He led the nation in scoring.
Oh, for real?
You Alabama State people on there, what's the coach's name? The girls' coach at Alabama State's name? Wasn't the husband the leading scorer in the nation when he was at Alabama State?
Let me get his name.
She's the girls' coach now. What's her name? Frida what?
Let me see.
I know somebody on here knows it. She's the girls' coach at Alabama State. Her husband was
Let me see.
Frida Freeman Jackson.
that's right. Her husband was named Jackson. He played for Coach Oliver, I think. We need to look. I think he played for Coach Oliver. I think he led the nation in scoring.
Yeah, we had some. We used to be able to get what they call 3 stars now. HBCUs used to be able to get those.
And I think one thing we got to always remember too is 2 things involved. At first, we didn't have a choice. You had to go to an HBCU. But the other thing is economics. Them people could come in and buy those players. They could come in and give money to their parents, give money to them, and they could buy. The other thing is we weren't able to fly people all over the country. Not only were they able to fly people in and out, they could fly their teams. We were riding on buses and vans. They flying in the air. Okay? Yeah. And so that's why I say, and I'm going to say it again, if you look at us economically, we belong in Division 2. We belong in that NAIA tournament. That's where we should be. If you look at our money.
This is me, right? And if you want to know, I can tell you I was raised and what I was come from. I'm 51. I was raised by people who I just came up a little different. Money could never buy me, and I don't think we shouldn't just be for sale. And the only way we gonna be where we supposed to be is if we stick together. I don't think we should bow down just because they got more money. Because if we bow down.
That's not what I'm saying. Okay, go on. That's not what I'm saying.
Bow down because they have more money. We ain't gonna ever be able to do what we supposed to do. We just got to be able to. We just got to say we gonna stick together. And
let me tell you something about we gonna stick together. If you look at us historically, usually we have about 30% of our people that stick together. The other 70% is out of control. Okay, so we can go on with this, we gonna stick together stuff, but that ain't happening. That's not reality. Now, what I'm saying about money is this, okay? Because it's like me. I live off of a meager teacher's salary, okay? But I'm gonna try to stick and live by Tyler Perry. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. And that's what I'm saying. Okay, you're talking about our schools competing against these Power 5 schools. These people got millions on top of millions. We can't even pay our head men's basketball coach but $120,000, but we think we're going to compete against those schools? That's not happening. That's not reality.
Mr. Ford, I missed 90% of what you said because your mic was messed up.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway,
what
I'm just saying
is we're not going to be able to out-talent, out-recruit.
Right.
And we're not going to be able to outdo these Power 5 schools when it comes to basketball. We can't even pay a competitive salary
to
bring the coaches and the staff and the training that's needed to get at that level. Yeah. So at this point, competing in the Final Four, or excuse me, competing in the NCAA tournament and saying, well, there has been a 16 seed, or there has been a 15 seed, or there has been a 14 seed that's beaten a higher opponent. It's kind of just like, let's just be real. Let's focus on being on reality. The reality of things is more often than not, lower seeds are not going to beat a top seed. They're going to always place HBCUs at a 16 seed.
At a 16 seed.
You know, I honestly, I do think that if Jackson State would have been able to win outright, then there's a possibility that we could have been a 13 seed this year. Maybe
as far as in women's?
Yeah, and women's side.
I would say
we beat Texas Tech, and we played I want to say 5 of the top 20 teams.
Yeah, we played against North Carolina. We lost to them. We played against Texas Tech. We beat them. I think what was the other schools we played against?
They lost to Oregon State, which again they should have won.
We should have won.
They should have beat UCLA.
Yep.
They had all of them beat. But that's why I think they would have given Jackson State a 16 seed, because they don't want Jackson State to get in there and win.
They never want us to win. That's why they try to eliminate us as soon as possible. One of the greatest sports things you can be involved in is that NCAA tournament. Somebody just said it. You get almost $2 million just for showing up. You think they want to give a HBCU $2 million? They want us out of it as soon as possible. And if they can do that play-in, keep us from getting in the real tournament. They don't want us in it.
No, of course.
It's like giving. It's kind of like when you're on a team, or excuse me, you have two. You go to a basketball game and you have 10 people standing, and everybody picks somebody, and you got that last player.
Right.
You don't really want them to be on your team.
Right. You don't have a choice.
You can go ahead. You can come over here.
Okay, so let's go into the women's bracket. I haven't got it. I don't have it up on the screen, but I'm about to announce it on the.
Hold up, let me pull it up on the screen so people
can.
Hey,
I'm gonna step down. And thanks for letting me speak on your panel. Nice chatting with you, Mr. Ford. I think this is my first time ever speaking with you.
Have a good evening. Now, you a Jackson or are you Alcorn?
I'm just Jackson State Alcorn. I'm Jackson State right now because my son is a sophomore at Jackson State. But I just pulled for Alcorn, Jackson State, Mississippi, and all the other HBCUs. I'm being honest. I really had no real. I'm gonna love one more than the other one because I had family at all of them.
You know you're from Jackson?
Nah, I'm from the Mississippi Delta. I'm from Greenville.
Oh yeah. Did you know Chuck Prophet?
Nah, I never heard of Chuck Prophet.
Chuck worked. He was a sports information director at Mississippi Valley.
Nah, I don't know.
Never heard of. Okay.
Fowles. You know Ever Fowles?
I remember that name.
He played cornerback at Alcorn. Played like 8 seasons in the league.
Yeah. Now, give me the years. What years we talking?
Oh, he played in the late 70s, early 80s. You know,
so he was with Rodnell Young and Leslie Frazier.
Yeah, he came after them. Right after them.
So was he with? Let's see. Was he with Richard Miles, Isaac Holt? What was he with them?
No, like in between, because he came before Isaac Holt. But after them, but he came before Isaac Holt. One of my cousins played at was cornerback. Alcorn. My sister graduated from Alcorn. My dad, who was born in 1920, went to Alcorn. But then I got family who went to Jackson State, graduated from Jackson State. I had an uncle long time ago, went to Jackson State, football scholarship. I got family that that went there. So my thing, like I have family at Valley. So I just like them all.
But listen, did you know Coach Scribbling?
Lafayette Scribbling.
That's right. Did you know him?
I ain't know, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's a great man.
I knew Jerry Rice.
Okay, yeah.
I knew Jerry Rice. He played in the softball league with my brothers. We used to see him all the time. He used to be back in Greenville. His wife was from Greenville. He wasn't from Greenville, but he used to be the whole off season, damn near the whole off season. He would be in Greenville working out at high school and playing basketball on the south side of town in what people call, I guess, the hood. But that's what Jerry Rice hung out at, and he said he liked coming home because he could be a regular person. Everybody ain't asking for his autograph everywhere he go.
Right. Okay. Have a good night, him.
I'm gonna be listening, y'all too.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna go. You got it. Okay, got it up right now. Cool. So this is the women's bracket, and I'm gonna put it on full blast. So overall, the number one overall seed. The overall number one seed is South Carolina. Of course, like we said, they're taking on the number 16 seed, Norfolk State. This is the Greenville bracket right here. So the number 8 seed, South Florida, is taking the number 9 seed, Marquette. Number 5 seed, Oklahoma, get to go up against the number 12 seed, Portland. Number 4 seed, UCLA, and this is the same UCLA team that Jackson State played early in the season, y'all, and which we almost should have won the game. They're taking on number 13 seed, Sacramento State from the Big West. Is it the Big West or the Big Sky? It's one of those conferences. Big Sky. Creighton is number 6 seed. This is all women's. Remember, they are taking on whoever's wins the play-in game against Illinois and Mississippi State. So they're fighting for the 11 seed right there. And the number 3 seed, Notre Dame, is going up against number 14 seed, Southern Utah. Number 7 seed, Arizona, gets to play against the number 10 seed, West Virginia. And the number 2 seed, Lady Terps from Maryland, is going up against number 15 seed, Holy Cross. That is the Greenville bracket right there. This is the Seattle bracket. The 4th number 1 seed, Stanford, is going up against whoever wins the play-in game against Southern and Sacred Heart University for the number 16 seed. Number 8 seed, Ole Miss, going up against number 9, Gonzaga. Louisville is going up against Drake. That's 5-12, 4-13, Texas. And that's another game right there. That's another team that Jackson State almost beat. They should have won that game. They are going up against number 13, East Carolina. Number 6, Colorado, Lady Buffaloes, making it to the tournament. Play against number 11 seed, Middle Tennessee State. Number 3 seed, Duke, get the handle up on number 14, Iona. Number 7 seed, Florida State. This is more like a football. This is more like a football matchup if you really think about it. They're going up against number 10, Georgia. And the number 2 seed, Iowa, gets to handle up on the number 15 seed, Southeast Louisiana. Now let's go over to, this is the Greenville tournament number 2, number 1, the number 1 seed, the 2nd overall seed, Indiana, is going to take on the play-in game between Tennessee Tech and Monmouth. So that's the 16 seed right there. Number 8, Oklahoma State, go up against number 9, Miami, Florida. Number 5, Washington State, get to go up against Florida Gulf Coast University. This is the women's right here. Number 4, Villanova, takes on 13 seed Cleveland State. Number 6, Michigan, take on again the number 11 seed, UNLV, Running Rebels. This is a travesty right here. The number 3 seed, LSU. I think LSU should have been 2. Number 3 seed, LSU, battle it out against 14 seed, Hawaii. North Carolina, who has the 7th seed, is playing the Ivy League champ, Princeton, who has the number 10 seed. And number 2, Utah, going up against 15 seed Gardner Webb. Also on the Seattle bracket, number 1, the 3rd number 1 overall seed, Virginia Tech, takes on 16 seed Chattanooga. Number 8 seed, USC, is going up against number 9, South Dakota State. Number 5, Iowa State, plays against number 12, Toledo. Number 4, Tennessee, which I think they should have been either a 3 seed. Number 4, Tennessee, the Lady Vols, take battle against number 13 seed St. Louis. Number 6, North Carolina. That's another team Jackson State should have beat early in the year, y'all. Early in the year. So they had to play whoever is the winner of this play-in game against Purdue versus, I think, either St. John's or St. Joseph. That's for the 11th seed. Number 3 seed, Ohio State.
Yeah.
Is going up against 14 seed James Madison. Number 7, Baylor. Baylor Lady Bears get to play against the number 10 seed Alabama Crimson Tide and the number 2 seed UConn Lady Huskies. Battled it out with the 15 seed Vermont Catamounts. So your first 4 games, Southern versus Sacred Heart, Tennessee Tech versus Monmouth, Illinois versus Mississippi State, and Purdue versus St. John's. So, and I'm gonna say a lot of seeding has been misplaced right here because that LSU team should have been at least number 2 seed. That LSU team should have been a number 2 seed. But as we see right here, like I said, Norfolk State going up against the Monstars of the SEC, South Carolina, Lady Gamecocks. Ooh. I want to see who's going to try to stop Aaliyah Boston. Because that girl is a hooper. I don't think, and here's what I saw on Saturday and what I saw on Friday again for Southern University, the Lady Jags, you have no size up front. You had no size up front. And I say you had no size is because of the simple fact that Daphne White was working y'all in the paint. What do y'all think about that?
Hey, Doc, I think it's going to be the South Carolina Lady Gamecocks Invitational. I'm just waiting to see who can deal with Dawn Staley and that powerhouse she got. I
don't think anybody in the nation right now could deal with Dawn Staley.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I thought it was going to be LSU until
I saw them play.
Yeah, South Carolina ripped in a new one.
Yeah. Now, if they have a bad game, because now, in these tournaments, sometimes you do have a bad game.
Right.
Man. This lady has put together a juggernaut, and that's Columbia, South Carolina. And that lady done put together. See, now, I know they're not going to give her credit, but I know when you...
make it in?
Huh?
Did LSU make it in?
Yeah, LSU was a number 3 seed. They should have been
team.
2. They got a good team.
I've seen LSU. The LSU team this year is better than the one last year.
Yeah, that's the reason why I said we talking about Jackson State Lady Tigers going up against them girls again for this year. Nah.
And let me say this, I can't stand Kim Mulkey after the way she acted about that girl being locked up over there in Russia. Now, that girl is the reason she got them $1 million contracts and them national championships, and then you turn your back on her and say the things you said about her. I ain't with Kim Mulkey. And you know what, if I wasn't on there, now I'd say some ugly stuff. Because Kim Mulkey is low down. You took your chance to show everybody how you felt about a young lady that was locked up. And this young girl brought you a national championship, and the reason you walk around with millions of dollars, and then you talking about you don't even care that she locked up. I got a problem with that now, because I done coached before, man. Let me tell you something. When you coach, the children that you coach become like your kids.
That's true.
Yeah. So I ain't got nothing for Miss Kim Mulkey now.
That's true. Blue on here, he said that if it's a LSU versus South Carolina matchup,
it's a blowout.
I think it's a blowout.
It's a blowout.
Don't get me wrong. Angel Reese can hoop. She can ball. She can ball out of control. But that'll leave
now. Angel is Angel with LSU.
Yeah, Angel's LSU.
She didn't come from Baylor, did she?
No, she's from Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay, yeah. Is that the tall, kind of skinny one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she can go.
She can go.
Yeah, she can go. But now they got some play. Now, one thing about Kim Mulkey, if you're not a super athlete, she ain't fooling with you. She wants the best.
And I'm telling you, but if you say you watched that game, Mr. Ford, when they played South Carolina.
Oh, it was a blowout. I wanted to see.
Aaliyah Boston took her to school.
Oh, and that other girl ain't bad either. That other girl on the other side of Boston.
Man.
Yeah.
And you talking about Coach Don Staley, who put out players to go to the WNBA.
Yeah.
Asia Wilson is a dog.
Yes, she is. She's in Las Vegas, right? Where's Asia?
In Vegas.
Yeah. Miss AKA, I think, isn't she? Yeah.
And if when Aaliyah get there, it's she gonna be on somebody's head for real. But yeah, she and it's so funny and it's so crazy because Coach Staley can go like 12, 13 deep on her, roster.
Yeah.
On her roster. Her second and third units is just as good as her first unit.
Yes. And
that's the type of mentality that HBCUs need to have, especially on the women's side.
Yeah.
In the men's side. But on the women's side, to have a deep bench, a deep roster where you could go 12, 13 deep.
And Doc, one thing that was on display this week with the SWAC tournament, we got some good men and women's coaches. I saw that.
Yeah,
we got some good men and women coaches. I'd like to see all of them get a raise now, but we do have some good coaches.
Hold on.
I saw that this week.
Lawrence just gave me some breaking news. He said UNC declined the NIT bid.
I figured they were going to do that. I figured that. Because I'm going to tell you something. I can't believe they left the Tar Heels at home. That's a blue blood. That's one of the top 5 programs in America. Basketball. I can't believe they left them at home. I guess that's one less Negro coach in that tournament. They kind of struggled this year. I ain't gonna take that. You know, Doc. Me and you talked about it. I thought I saw some personnel issues. I know they're gonna blame it on Hubert Davis, but I thought I saw some. I don't know if them boys liked each other. I don't know if because now I'm gonna tell you something else. I told you this the other day. Now, see, I know about when them agents get to infiltrating your program and start talking that trash to them boys about you this, you that, and they turn it into an individualized game. Yeah. I know about that, but I saw some things. I didn't see a lot of team chemistry. What you think about that, Doc?
From little basketball that I watched this season. If it wasn't for HBCU basketball,
right.
Yeah, I didn't see cohesion in it.
Yeah,
especially they played that last game that they played was against Duke. That's your biggest rival, right?
Right. And I didn't see that fire that I thought I should have seen.
Right.
I didn't see that fire. I didn't see it. And you talking about a team that's got at least 2 or 3 McDonald's All-Americans, right? Bayco, Love. I thought Love went totally backwards this year.
Mm-hmm. But it's crazy though. If you think about it, the Tar Heels are known to have at least one off season when they get a new head coach.
Okay.
Just think about that. Bill Guthridge. Other than Bill Guthridge,
I remember Bill.
Bill Guthridge, he didn't have a off year. He pretty much
just couldn't win it.
He couldn't win it.
He couldn't win it all.
And he had the most.
Yeah, he had a lot of talent
on the team.
Yeah, because he was Dean Smith's handpicked successor, right?
Right.
Yeah, he just couldn't win the whole thing.
Yeah, and then so we can go to see the men's. I'm trying to figure out if they already did the NIT on here.
So who's Jackson's girls playing first?
They haven't said.
Oh, they haven't said. Okay.
So,
and I know you remember. You remember that year that Jackson State boys, Lindsey Hunter and them beat UConn in the NIT.
I heard about it.
I remember. Listen, everybody was hollering and screaming. That was Coach Stoglin's team. I will never forget that. They beat UConn.
So yeah, I'm just saying, like on the men's side, on the men's side of the bracket, I am a big. I told y'all I'm a big Memphis fan. So.
Oh yeah, they look good today.
They look real good.
Oh, they look good today. That might have been the best game since Penny's been there.
I think that was the best. I think that was the best game all around in this tournament. I mean,
I mean, they look good.
So, but they didn't do any justice with the 8-9 matchup.
Now, who is that though?
Memphis.
Okay, so did Memphis get what, a second seed or third? What did they get?
They got an 8 seed.
Wait a minute, Memphis State got an 8 seed?
Yes, they did.
Oh, that's awful. That's awful. And they won the AAC?
They won the AAC, which is one of the toughest conferences to win.
Yes, it is. Oh, they, you know what? They probably mad with Penny because Penny's been having it with the media. You know that, right? He been having it with the media. That might be a get back at him. Wait a minute. So Memphis is an 8 seed.
Memphis is an 8 seed.
That's awful. That's awful.
Yeah, Memphis is an 8 seed.
Yeah, Penny's he's had words with the media. He's kind of, Nolan Richardson had some tumultuous times with the media too. Now, I don't know if you remember, man. He used to go at it with the media, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Billy Packer used to go at, man. Billy Packer say something stupid to him, boy, he would let him have it.
Yeah, man. So, but on the men's side, like I said, Tuesday, March 14th, Southeast Missouri State taking on A&M Corpus Christi.
Right.
That's at 6:40 on True TV. And then at 9:10, Pittsburgh versus Mississippi State. That's for the 11th seed. The first game is for the 16th seed. Wednesday, all playing games are at University of Dayton.
Yeah, they always have it in Dayton. Yeah, that's right.
First game of the night at 6:40, Fairleigh Dickinson versus Texas Southern for the 16th seed to take on number 1 Kansas. And then at 9:10, number 11 the 11 seeds, Nevada versus Arizona State.
Whoa. The guy you just called out, Jeff Capel, he's at Pittsburgh, right?
Jeff Capel, I don't know if he's at.
I thought he was with the Pitt Panthers. Somebody, isn't Jeff Capel with the Pitt Panthers? But my point is this. Now, his daddy cut his teeth in HBCU basketball, Doc. His dad at one time was at Fayetteville State. He was at North Carolina A&T. Somebody check that. That's Jeff Capel's daddy.
Yeah, well, the son is at Pittsburgh right now.
Pittsburgh, right. I'm saying the daddy. His dad was one time head coach at Fayetteville State, and then at one time he was a head coach at North Carolina A&T.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think he left there and went to Old Dominion.
Yep. Yep. So he was at Old Dominion, A&T, and Fayetteville State. So yeah.
Yeah. What was his first name? What was the dad's first name?
Jeff. The second.
Okay, so he's named after his dad.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now he had a brother played at North Carolina. Remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason was the former head coach over at Appalachian State.
I think so. That's right. That's right. And I want to say, did he go into TV, into the media? Or is he coaching?
Right now, he's not doing anything.
He's not doing it. Okay.
He's an assistant. He is.
Is he at Pitt?
Yeah, he's on
his brother's staff. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Because the brother was a point guard. I think he was like a forward for North Carolina. The brother was a point guard at Duke. Because some people thought that he should have been considered for that Duke job and Johnny Dawkins. And by the way, I got some terrible news. We had Doc. We talked the other night about Othello Harrington getting that Georgetown job. They're saying they're going after the guy at Penn State. Yeah,
I heard the news. I heard news about that, but I think Othello needs to get that job.
Yeah, I was hoping, because I was real happy when somebody said that they had heard Othello was going to get that job. I was happy, but they said in the media today that this guy at Penn State is being supposedly is the number one choice right now.
Right. Yeah. So
Rick Pitino is supposed to get St. John's. Have you heard that?
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I mean, because he's a New Yorker.
He's a New Yorker, and he loved New York boys. Because that's one of the things he tore up at Louisville. Louisville had always lived off them Southern boys.
When he was at Kentucky, that's when he brought in Jamal Mashburn.
That's right. And that other one, was another kid he brought in from New York. He was a forward. I can't think of it. I think he got in the Walter something.
Walter McCarty.
Yeah, wasn't Walter from New York?
Yep. Yep. Let's see. We gonna so on the men's side, Texas Southern and Timon. I know you watched the game yesterday. What did you see Texas Southern do that Jackson State did not do the previous game?
Well, I'm going to say this. Jackson don't have the personnel Texas Southern got. Now, the biggest thing Texas Southern did, they have cleaned up the problems they had in that backcourt during the early part of the season. Jackson State did the same thing. They cleaned up in the back, but Jackson State does not have the personnel that Texas Southern has. Now, to me, Texas Southern has the best personnel in the SWAC, because I'm told y'all, a lot of them boys on that Texas Southern team, they can play in the Power 5.
Right.
Okay. The one thing Johnny can do, Johnny can recruit now. I ain't so big on his X's and O's, but his recruiting is outstanding. And that's what I said. I thought that they got the backcourt together, and then them big people took over.
Right.
That boy, that Walker kid that they said got thrown out of one of them, something happened. That boy can play, man. That kid can play.
Yeah. And then, what do you think, Timona? What do you think about yesterday from Texas Southern, what they did against Grambling?
Can you repeat the question about Texas Southern?
I was saying, what do you think you saw Texas Southern do that was different from what Jackson State did the previous game when they played Grambling?
Grambling just messed up. Game. I don't know. There's so many different scenarios. One of them is that Grambling played until 10 o'clock at night, which means they didn't get to bed till 11.
Yeah, they played a hard game against Jackson.
You don't have that. Basically, you don't have the same amount of rest.
Yeah.
I really think they need to restructure the tournament so that it's fair with the number 1 seed, number 2 seed. Like, you got to figure it out.
Now, let me just say this. Now, one of the things that one of the big problems with Grambling yesterday was they got so far behind at the opening of the game.
Yeah.
They couldn't do nothing right. But they did show some resiliency, especially in that second half. Okay, because they could have given up. They could have quit, but they didn't. And so I would say kudos to that coach at Grambling.
Coach Dante Jackson.
Yeah, that guy's got something going on. But like I said, Texas Southern was a sleeping giant the whole season. And then at the end, probably what was about February, they kind of woke up. Because they got the personnel, but their backcourt was lousy during the beginning of the season because they started out real bad. What they 0-7? What were they 0-5, 0-7? What was that? What was that record?
Yeah, because they play a Power 5 schedule all the time.
Right.
So
right.
and it started when Texas Southern went on their runs. It started with Coach Mike Davis because he wanted to make sure that when it came into to tournament play, that his teams were going to be strong in tournament play.
And let me say this about Jackson State. The big kid that's from California, I've been asking about, does he come back for next year?
For Jackson State? Oh,
yeah.
Mansell? Oh,
yeah.
Mansell?
Yeah, is he coming back?
Yeah, he'll be back.
Okay, now here's the thing. They got to go and get a compliment to him. He needs, because see, he scores well, but when you got a guy like, you say his name is Mansell, you need a power forward to go along with him. That's what because when I was watching the game, I said, you know what? He doesn't have a compliment. They got to go get a power forward to compliment him.
Yeah, and then here's the thing I did not like. Like I said, with the rotation, understand that you don't have too much of a bench, Coach Mo, but for you to go with an 8-man rotation in the conference tournament, nah, you got to go at least 9 or 10.
Yeah.
You cannot go with 8. You're burning. Your starters are already used up.
Yeah, and it's a long season. But let me ask you and Mr. Mona this question. Does he need to focus his recruiting on high school? Does he need to focus on his recruiting on junior colleges? Or does he need to go directly to the transfer portal? Because I'm going to tell you what I think.
Transfer portal first.
Okay.
Second. And then training what you already have.
Right.
They do have for anybody to say that they thought that Jackson State was going to win outright to be ranked third in our division. We weren't even, I think pre-ranked, we were 6th or 7th, right?
It was we were supposed to be at least 7th, pick 7th to win, not 7th to win the conference, but 7th in the conference.
All right. And so for him to come in here and do what he did, it didn't matter whether or not we went all the way or not. It was just the fact that every week he would fight back and find ways to win.
Oh, right. And remember also, he kicked 2 people off the team too.
That was the kid from Wyoming?
I think so.
What's that kid's name? Because he was a big kid. Huh? Young, when the Trace Young.
Trace Young,
yeah. Because he was a big, I think that was he brought that kid from Montgomery, right? What that kid was about 6'8", 6'9"?
Yeah, that was part of that was the size that we had, that we were supposed to have. Yeah. So he kicked the kid off the team. He kicked 2 of them off the team. So that kind of shortened your bench right there. I know you had a couple of that was injured, but they came back before tournament time. But what I'm saying is you shouldn't have to constrict your bench like that, because now you relying on 3 guys, and 2 other guys are going to be worn out.
Well, I want Mr. Mona, you took my thunder, because I was going to say, I don't think he needs to look at no high school kids. I'm like you. I think he needs to go transfer portal and then junior college.
Well,
I think he needs to spend time on a high school kid. Huh?
We have some really, really good, I know they're football players, but good Lord. Isaiah Spencer.
Right.
He is a stud. Isaiah Kendall, stud. There's some football players. I don't know if they plan on being two sport athletes, but goodness gracious, they can play some ball. And so I think that if he goes to that transfer portal, he needs 3 Mansells. You need 3 of them.
So
because is Mansell 7 feet? What's his height?
6'9", 6'10".
6. Okay. So you want 3 6'10" kids?
Yeah, you're gonna need them. And then when you think about it, I feel like instead of trying to get competition for the SWAC, you need to be trying to get competition for Power 5.
Oh,
and when you're trying to get competition against Power 5,
right?
You have to have that type of, so build your team up like you would be playing against a Power 5 team,
right?
And that way you'll be able to dominate. I am really surprised about Grambling and what happened. They were lights out in the preseason against
some good teams, and they were out there winning.
Right.
But against Grambling, if you really think about this, look at the game on Friday night when Grambling played Jackson.
Right.
Jackson was afforded to put their best player, Cam Christian, in foul trouble. I think he had 4 fouls deep in the second half of the game, and they only brought him back in once he figured out that our players was getting tired, and he brought him back in because he know, like, look, he can score. But it was to the point where they almost fouled that kid out. And I kept saying, I kept saying this all Tamona, I know I was on your stream. We watched the game, you know.
I did too. I watched all of them.
I kept saying, go to the basket. Go to the basket. Draw fouls. Go to the basket. If your ability is to go to the basket or shoot a 10 to 12 foot jump shot is your best way of scoring, that's what I'm doing. Because the simple fact that you can't shoot 3-pointers. You have terrible shooting. You have terrible 3-point shooting.
That's Jackson?
Jackson, yes.
Okay.
So you got to get dudes that can shoot. You got to get dudes that can play the mid-range. You got to get dudes that could be down on the block. And what I'm saying is too, Mansell, even though he's 6'9", 6'10", he's only probably like no bigger than like 205.
I mean, the amount of I could say that whole like trying to shoot threes, like, listen, you don't have to. A lot of these kids are trying to be Steph Curry. You guys are not Steph Curry.
Right.
Be in the lane that you need to be in. A lot of those games that were lost, I know, especially in the women's, and even in the men's, it was because y'all were trying to shoot threes and you're not getting ready to shoot threes. Go to the basket and draw the foul. And foul some of these players out. I know yesterday in the game with UAPB, they had a game plan, which was they were going to the basket and they were drawing fouls. I don't know what happened in the last 6 or 7 minutes of the fourth quarter. They stopped
can't shoot free throws.
They couldn't shoot the free throws, but they could have still been drawing those fouls.
Well, now, Mr. Mona, so let me ask you this, and Doc, I'm going to ask you the same thing. Mm-hmm. So in your estimation now, so we're looking at, for Jackson State to be champions of SWAC basketball next year, we need 2 guards, 2 forwards, center. What do we need specifically? Do we need 2 guards? Do we need 2 centers? What do we need?
Definitely
to be the champions.
Oh, to be the champions? That's a high bar.
I'm just saying, so what do you want? Do you want 2 forwards brought in? Do you want 2 centers? What do you want to make us make Jackson State champions next year?
Let me answer that right there.
Okay.
So, like I said, you need big guys.
You want forwards or centers?
I need both of them.
A center.
Yeah, but I need both of them because then too, you can get you a forward/center that can actually be interchangeable. But he has to be athletic. He has to be able to shoot at least a mid-range game. If he has a game to where he can shoot out on the outside 3-point line, that's cool. But 12 to 15 feet, you know, like an old school oldest sport.
Well, let me ask you: do you need a point guard, a shooting guard, or you need both?
I need both. And
so you want? Do you want a shooting forward, or you want a shooting forward and a power forward? What do you want?
We need let's pull up what we have right now.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and do that, because at this point, you know, we have to look at what we got and build off of what we already have and what we're able to keep.
Right.
And then, you know, go from there, because like you said, some of these, I don't know, the way they was not making those layups, I wanted to get rid of the whole team, actually, to be honest with you. The way they weren't making simple layups.
And who's that kid missed that dunk Friday night?
Oh, that was
what's his classification?
What was that, Colty?
Was that Ken Evans? I thought that was Ken Evans.
Ken Evans, yeah. Ken Evans Jr. He's a senior.
Oh, he's a senior?
Yeah. I was like,
he's a red shirt Sophomore.
Sophomore?
Oh, okay, okay.
Forest Hill.
Well, he all right there if he's a sophomore. He can. If he's a senior, I'm mad.
Okay, we'll let him slide.
Yeah, if he's sophomore, he all right. He got 2 years to make up.
Mr. Ford said he'll let you slide tonight.
Yeah, he's slide. If he's sophomore, you know.
So a lot of these are young. I guess they're really young. Zeke Cook, Ken Evans, Colty Young, they're all sophomores.
Okay.
All out of Mississippi.
One kid was from Starksville. What's his classification?
Colty Young is from Starksville. He's a sophomore.
Good job. Okay, because he could shoot it.
Zeke Cook is from
Starkville
too.
He's from Starkville, so that's 6'6", 220. So he's more like your 3.
Bancel's a junior.
Yeah, 6'9", 195. But he plays like he's 245 pounds.
Right.
To me, he needs to bulk up a little bit.
I'd like to see him get a compliment.
Trayon Johnson, is he? I didn't see much of him all season. I seen him a little bit. He's a center.
He's at 285. They're not gonna play him that if he's that heavy right there. Because I think because for Mo to run his offense, and if he's trying to run his offense like it's an NBA, you know what I'm saying, like an NBA offense, you need to have your center to be about at least 240. So
when we say NBA offense, is he camping out everybody on the 3-point line?
It looks like he camps out, but I see some motion in his offense. They don't. The thing I don't like is they don't utilize the back cuts. Like,
right. Okay. Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
If I'm Mo, or if I'm somebody, the assistant, I'm looking at all of Pete Carrill's teams from Princeton.
Oh yeah.
Back cuts, back doors. Like,
yeah.
Y'all got to understand. Pete, and then Pete Carrill had to where he was the master at producing big men, like that he can develop the big man with footwork.
Now let me say this now, Doc. Now, Pete Carell's offense was basically for slow white boys who are very patient. Now, that's going to be hard in the SWAC. I can be done now, but it's based on about 5 to 10 passes, and like you said, then comes that back cut that everybody done forgot.
Right.
But it would be hard to teach it because it's a very, very patient offense.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's 3 offenses that's real patient. That, like I said, that Princeton style offense,
right?
And the motion offense that Bobby Knight used to run.
Oh, I love
Indiana.
It. Yeah,
and then that flex that if you know watched in the NBA that the late Flip Saunders.
Yeah, Flip Saunders.
Yeah, he used to run that to death when he was at Minnesota.
Right.
And so you get those 3 type of offenses, which is pretty much, I won't say basic, but it's pretty much slow. It kind of slows the game down, but it runs people off the 3-point line because you have to keep moving. It's moving parts. You know what I'm saying? It's moving parts. So you don't shoot a lot of threes. You're gonna get, like you said, you're gonna get backdoor layups. You're gonna get the 12 to 15 foot jump shot, and then occasionally you can get you a 3-point shot off if you're open in the corner.
Now, Doc, from what the personnel that Mo Williams has right now, I go back to what you said. I would say motion or the triangle, because he's, like you said, he's kind of really playing without a really legitimate big man. Right. And when you're not playing with a legitimate big man, motion and that darn triangle is the best thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I thought that Jackson should look at is maybe. But my whole thing is, I'm going to be honest with y'all, I think Jackson is only 2 players away from a championship. I think one's a guard, I think one's a combo guard, and the other one is a complementary forward to that, what you call it, what's that kid's name from California?
Mansell.
A complementary forward to him. So I think they're only 2 players away. But I do think I don't see that take charge guard at Jackson State right now. And when I say take charge, he's a combo. He can run the point and he can play the 2. I don't see that.
Yeah. So I'm just looking at it. I'm just thinking like those are the things. And then the defense, I'm going to say this. Go look at go look at Jim Boeheim's defense.
That 2-3?
2-3. Now you know who used to cause havoc with that defense, but it was a matchup zone. 2-3
Was it Chaney?
Was John Chaney.
John Chaney, that matchup, yeah, that nobody could figure out.
Nobody could figure out. Now
Yeah.
if you're gonna play that trap type defense, like half court, full court trap, I'm looking at I'm going to look at tapes of UNLV Jerry Tarkanian. The amoeba defense. Like you didn't know if it was a press, you didn't know if it was a trap.
Yeah.
They could get you full court, they could get you half court, but the name of the game is get as many turnovers that you can get to put as many points on the board. I
always thought that the best teacher of the amoeba defense was Dale Brown. I thought he really taught it well. And Doc, that's another thing. This brings me to a point I listened to Carlos Brown's show yesterday. And Carlos is calling for the removal of Sean Woods. I totally disagree. That guy's a good coach. Only problem he needs 2 big men. 2 solid big. They don't have to be scorers, but they got to be rebounders, and one of them needs to be a shot blocker. But listen, guys, this guy's good, man. I would hate to see this guy lead a SWAC. That guy, Sean Woods, is good, y'all. And they calling for him to be fired and all that stuff. That guy's good.
I don't think he needs to be fired.
I don't either. I don't. I listened to it yesterday. And listen, the other thing I called for, they need to give him a raise. That's what I'm calling for. Give him a raise. But I like it. And I said, Doctor, we talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
It was a donut team. Strong on the perimeter, weak on the inside.
Yep.
The leading rebounder averaged 4 rebounds a game in the SWAC. That ain't going to work. You're going to run out of power. So I'm saying, I hope they give Sean another year. Sean is all they need to do is go get 2 big men from either junior college in Texas, junior college in Mississippi, or a junior college in California. Don't forget, a junior college in Florida. That's all he's missing.
So we got the WNIT field. They did all the announcements. So automatic qualifiers, y'all. So I'm going, this is the WNIT. If you got that, can you pull that up for Timona?
You said the WNIT, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I didn't see the actual bracket.
No, they don't. They won't have the actual bracket till probably they'll probably have it tonight, but because the first game is on Tuesday. Yep.
All right.
Automatic qualifiers, y'all. So you got Arkansas from the SEC.
They're gonna be tough.
Boston University from the Patriot League.
Okay.
Bowling Green from the MAC Conference. 27-6, man. They could at least got them into the NCAA tournament.
They're not a blue blood.
Man, it's still crazy. Columbia from the
I must
Ivy
not
League.
have this updated because Farley Dickinson is playing Southern. So how are they in this one?
This
Is that that's
okay? Never. I thought. Okay. I thought
that
that's
win for that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh dang! High Point, man.
Yeah. So you got Columbia, Fairleigh Dickinson, Green Bay, High Point, Illinois State. Of course, you got Jackson State right there. Kansas is in the WNIT.
What's the record?
19-11.
Okay.
You also have, you got Liberty, Little Rock, Memphis made the women's NIT tournament. That's cool.
Listen, that guy at Little Rock is he's a legend, man. I can't think of his name. He's been there for years. That guy's won like 500 or 600 games.
Morgan State.
That's Ed. Ed used to be at Bowie State. Yeah, I know him.
Yep, Morgan State, Nebraska, Niagara, North Dakota State, Northern Illinois, San Diego, Seton Hall. This is another surprise to me. Another school I went to. Stephen F. Austin.
What's the record?
26-6.
Woo.
I feel like this shit, even though they're
what's that conference?
The Western Athletic Conference.
Now, Doc, you know they don't care nothing about no whack. You know they don't care nothing about no whack now.
But still, though, they could at least got enough team up there.
Yeah, but you know they don't care nothing. That, man, as far as the whack is concerned, them conference can go away for them. They don't care nothing about them people.
You got Syracuse, Lady Orange, you got Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
Syracuse was tough. Now, they've been tough, right? And I think they've been pretty good these last 3 or 4 years.
On the women's side, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was a brother up there, but I think they got rid of him.
And then you got Texas State,
okay.
Towson.
That's Baltimore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
University of Albany, UC Irvine, UMass, with a 26-6 record too. Yeah. Washington, Western Kentucky, Wofford, and Wyoming. And then here go your at-large bids right here. So at-large is Auburn.
They're gonna be. What's Auburn's record?
15-14.
Whoa! Who's coaching there now?
I wouldn't know who's coaching there.
Oh, okay.
Ball State, Belmont, BYU, Clemson, Colorado State, Drexel.
Wait a minute. What's Clemson's record?
Clemson is 17-15. This is on the women's side. They really not too much hoopla on the women's side, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You got.
So does Alcorn does Alcorn or Grambling get to go to the WNIT? I mean, excuse me, the NIT.
The men's. I haven't seen it yet. But Grambling will more. Alcorn will probably be in it. Grambling might be in it too, just because what they did in the regular season. Yeah, Florida, Fordham, Harvard, Kansas State, Kent State.
What's Harvard's record?
17-11.
Okay, and what was Kansas State's record?
17-16. So that was a tough that's a tough Big 12 for the women's, y'all. That is a tough Big 12.
Who won the Big 12 in women?
The Big 12 in women, I think it was let me see.
The one Baylor?
Nah.
Oklahoma, none of them? Texas did? Texas women?
Texas. I think it was Texas.
Texas women, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Let me see, because I can actually pull it up. I've been watching some good XFL football too, man.
Oh yeah, it has been good. Yeah, you're right. It's been good.
They about to be in tournament mode now.
Doc, that guy Vic Schaefer, where did he end up going? He was at Mississippi State, right?
Vic Schaefer.
He was pretty. He had them girls at Mississippi State. They was tough, but he left. Did he go to Texas A&M?
Yes.
He's at A&M.
I think he went to Texas A&M
because he was pretty good.
Because Gary Blair took. I think he had retired. I have to see about that.
Right.
Yeah, Daryl Smith said Texas won the Big 12.
The women.
The women.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So basketball probably reigns supreme in that Big 12.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, because they always, all of them are nationally rated.
Mm-hmm. So you got 1, 2, 3. Four teams from the American in the WNIT.
From the AAC?
Mm-hmm, which tell you that that's a strong conference.
Yeah,
also.
that's a good conference. They just don't get the respect of the Power Five, but that's a good conference. Listen, I'll take that AAC over the Pac-12 any day.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that AAC. It's some good people in there. That's Cincinnati and UCF. That's Tulane, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a good conference.
It is a good conference. That's a very good conference.
And they're gonna lose UCF, Cincinnati, Houston, and who else?
And BYU comes in because
and BYU. Yeah. That's gonna help the Big 12.
Yeah, from what I heard, the Big 12 is supposed to be trying to get their TV deal is supposed to be done by the end of this year or next year. So they're trying to cash on in.
Because they trying to raid the Pac-12. They want Colorado, Arizona State, and is it Utah?
Yes.
If they're able to do that, man, that's going to help them now. That puts them in about, 3 different regions?
Mm-hmm.
People in chat are saying that they think Jackson State will be able to host a first-round game.
They should.
Oh, that's going to be big.
Only if it's on the 17th. If it's on the 15th, Jackson State is currently on spring break.
Yeah, they don't stop.
Okay, the 15th is what? Tuesday?
The 15th.
When is that?
That is the Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what they'd have to do, they got to sell it to the city. They got to get the people in the city to come in.
Yep. All right, so the NIT, the men's NIT bracket. I don't think the bracket has been chart.
I was trying to see if I could find the men's NIT for the announcement, but let me see.
They say it's supposed to be today, but
let's see if they put it up. They put up the schedule, but they don't have the let me see. Trying to see if I can find the bracket. The only thing I have right now is a blank bracket for right now.
So, Mr. Mona, what do you give Mo Williams for this year? A, B, C, or D, F? What do you give him?
I give him a B.
Yeah, I do too. I give him a B+.
There were some things that I continuously saw that I didn't like, one of which is perpetually during the regular season is having such a ridiculously large lead in the first half and then giving it all away back in the second half.
Yeah.
That's guard play. What you give him, Doc?
This first year at Jackson, he had a lot of I won't say a lot of turmoil, but he had to do some things that he didn't want to do, like kick kids off the team.
Right.
It says that North Carolina decided to decline a bid to
they don't.
I'm not surprised
after failing to be selected for the NCAA tournament.
I am shocked they weren't selected. I'm shocked.
That's crazy.
That's a blue blood program.
You need all the wins that you want, that you need to get. And
what was their final record?
I think it was 21 and 20 and 12 or so.
And that wasn't good enough to get into the NCAA?
No, because they was the last 4 out.
I'm shocked. I'm gonna be honest with you. What grade you give? What'd you give Mo for this first year?
I would give Mo a B-.
Okay. Where did the minus come from?
Not able to capitalize off of big leads like Timon just said.
Okay.
Also, playing a short bench.
Right.
You got to be able to navigate through that. And last, got to get your kids motivated.
You didn't think they were motivated during the tournament?
I mean, I think they were motivated in the tournament, but I don't think they were motivated all the way through.
You mean the entire season?
In the entire season.
Okay.
So I have like a mock one. It's not necessarily the final one, but this is just like a mock draft of who they feel like is going to make it into the NIT.
Right.
So I see Alcorn is in the Rutgers region. And they have Rutgers, Hofstra, Yale, Seton Hall, Sam Houston State, Alcorn State, Liberty, and Virginia Tech.
Listen, you just called out some quality programs.
Sam Houston is a quality program.
Liberty is a quality program.
They are too.
And you said Seton Hall?
Yeah.
Seton Hall is tough. That's that guy from St. Francis that was beating up them Power Fives last year.
I don't see Gremlin on here.
So Gremlin didn't make it?
I don't see him on here. They don't have a NIT bubble watch.
Oh.
Like
so they only picking one man from the SWAC?
Let me see. It might be selecting right now because on I think they say it's on ESPNU.
Sonic Boom said C plus. What did he say?
He said a C plus. He said B. He said I would say a B minus based on preseason expectations, but when you win, expectations change. I had to drop it to a C plus based on the 3-0 conference start and games they should have won. I give you that right there.
Hey, Sonic Boom. I say he needs two players, a combo guard and a forward to complement that center. What do you say?
I think he'll agree with you on that one.
I think he's two players away from a championship.
I mean, you're saying that, but that also means that Alcorn and Gremlin, though they're already there. They just made some mistakes. So are you discounting their
But now the thing with Gremlin's personnel is okay, but Gremlin's biggest asset is that team, they like each other. And the other thing about Gremlin, they play together. You can tell that they're an experienced team.
Okay, the selection show for the NIT is about to come on.
What channel? What channel?
It's on ESPNU.
Okay, hold on. All right. ESPNU. Yeah, I'm there. Let me sit down.
So right now they're doing the women's tournament selection.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's still a big turnout. That's still a big recruiting tool for Jackson State. Also, just the women's for going into the WNIT and to say, hey, we can come in here. We can go if we can go at least 2 or 3 rounds deep in this tournament right here.
Right.
It's something different. I don't want to put it on there because I don't want to get flagged for that thing.
Yeah, you shouldn't. But I'm getting ready to get off. I didn't know y'all was gonna be on here this long. So
I'll take care of it because I don't have to be at work till late tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in to the show and thank you for your support. Please like the stream and subscribe, and everybody have a good night.
Okay, Mr. Moan.
We gonna continue on right here.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
So thing. So 32 total teams. Now that's crazy because you think about it. The WNIT got 64 teams in here, and the NIT is going to go with the straight 32.
It'll be more competitive if it's 32.
Yeah.
You won't see no bad games. Hopefully you won't.
So the number 1 overall seed is Oklahoma State.
Okay. That's
So
Big 12, right?
Big 12. So they're taking on Youngstown State.
State, okay.
Yeah, that's a that's on the men's side. But
this is men?
Yeah, this means.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'm thinking that. So Washington State is the number 4 seed. They're taking on Eastern Washington, so that's regional right there.
Right. There it is. There it is, Alcorn. Yeah, there's Alcorn.
I must be lagging behind right now.
Yeah, it's they put Alcorn up there.
It's number 3 seed North Texas. Ooh, it's
Right.
going to be a.
Will that be
Alcorn State?
Alcorn's going to be the host team?
No, they coming here.
They coming to North Texas. Okay.
That ain't too far. That's a 20-minute drive for me, y'all.
Okay, you going?
I might go. Go.
Okay.
That's Wednesday.
Yeah, that's Wednesday. So I'll be watching games all this week. Starting at Tuesday.
Houston. Santa Clara. Wait a minute. Time out. You mean to tell me North Texas guy has to travel to Alcorn?
They do?
David, DG, are they playing in Alcorn? Are they North Texas playing Alcorn in Alcorn, or are they playing them in Denton? Because I need to know what's up. So Oregon is the number 1 seed.
That's what I'm saying. Alcorn gonna host the game. That's good.
I just want to make sure that I'm Florida UCF.
That's gonna be a big game. That's Johnny Dawkins.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be a big game. Now, where's that game?
Should be in Gainesville.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so Lawrence says at North Texas. Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right. So if I got some money, I'll ride up that way.
Oh yeah. Doc, I got to turn it in too, man.
All right, man.
Okay, you have a good one here.
You too, man.
Now, when you coming back again?
Probably on Tuesday, because I got to pick the missus up from the airport tomorrow.
Okay. Well, look forward to seeing you Tuesday.
All right.
Okay, man. Have a good night.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying, Bishop. I'm tripping. I know I wasn't tripping. I'm thinking they had Alcorn as the home team, like for real. I'm thinking. Okay, you say home team's on top. Okay, man, I thought I was tripping. I want to see if for who's going to be in from the MEAC conference. It said Grambling may play in the CBI. If they play in the CBI, that's still a good representation for your conference right there. Because I mean that you got multiple teams playing in multiple tournaments. So they doing it. This is a 30-minute show. So they about to breeze through this, y'all. They about to breeze through these picks. Yeah, Edwin, tell them. All HBCU alums need to head to UNT to support Alcorn. If you're in Jackson for the women, everybody need to head to the AAC to support Jackson State. You need to support Morgan because they're in the WNIT also. Support Morgan State too. But how do y'all like that matchup right there with how y'all like that matchup with Alcorn versus North Texas? How do y'all think that's Yeah, it's JSU versus everybody. All SWAC team, all HBCU alums need to be in Denton, no matter if it's spring break or not. And I'm still tripping that North Carolina declined the NIT bid. Like, what do you think? You sap suckers gonna get in? But yeah, we all need to be at the Super Pit. At the Super Pit. Denton, Texas. Right off of I-35. You like the matchup for Alcorn State? That's cool. They haven't said yet, so I'm gonna probably check it out and see what they say, who we play. You know what, Jamal? I don't know who made that call at UNC for them to decline the bid. I don't know who made that call. Like, I don't think you should have made that call right there. I think you should have at least weigh your options. That's how I feel. Weigh your options. All right. Okay, you said they'll find out tomorrow. That. Rutgers is playing Hofstra. Let's see what rest we got. I'm just going through checking out on my phone. No MEAC team in the NIT, that's stupid. So you're more likely probably see Norfolk State need to be in the CBI tournament then. Cincinnati versus Virginia Tech. Yeah, you see UNC see it as an insult. They say they'll pass. Yeah, pass them sticks, partner. Mexico versus Utah Valley. And then number 2, Colorado going against Seton Hall. Now, how bad do we want to see Colorado get blown out by Seton Hall? Number 1, Clemson. Morehead State. And then let me see. We got UAB versus Southern Miss. Let's see how bad UAB beat Southern Miss. Vanderbilt made the NIT against Yale. Michigan is in this NIT against Toledo. I think that is the last bit of the bracket. So I think everybody, I think they already. Jamal, I think the East is pretty tough sledding, but um, I will look out for U of H. If they get Marcus Sasser back within time for the tournament, look at Houston to try to run through their region. But that Alabama team, I think they could be beat. I think they could be beat, y'all. Yeah, so that is it. No other HBCU team is in the men's NIT. Look at them being in the CBI tournament. Yeah, Coach Kelvin Sampson is due for a run. He should have had a run when he was at Indiana. It's kind of comical to see him not make a run for it. Southern Miss is decent this season. They're decent this year. They need to get, like I said, Grambling needs to get an invite to the CBI tournament. I'm gonna look into that. Let me see, make sure. All right. Let's see. Let's see. All right. So right now they're doing their selection right now for the CBI. So they should be done in a little bit. But right now, Milwaukee, Southern Indiana, Western Carolina, Eastern Kentucky, Radford, and Rice have accepted invitation into the tournament. All right. They about to be over at 10 minutes, but I'm gonna get back on here probably on Tuesday so we can do another, so we can go through the whole breakdown. I'm just, when it comes down to it, tournament time, I'm just a big goofball and nerd when it comes to college basketball, especially around this time. But again, man, thank y'all for rocking with us for these good 2 hours. Also, let you know that the missus will be back in town tomorrow night. That's the reason why I'm not going live tomorrow night. So our daughter is at home now. She's out of the hospital, so she made it back home. That's a good thing right there. So I'm happy. I'm very elated. I'm very ecstatic for that. So I'm very ecstatic for that. Uh, and yeah, so she'll be back home tomorrow. And this is what we need to do this week, y'all. This week for the women's tournament, we need to pack out the AAC for Jackson State women's. We need to pack that out for real. On the men's side, we need for the men's side in the NIT. Doesn't matter if you went to Alcorn, doesn't matter if you went to Valley, don't matter. Everybody needs to be in Denton at the Super Pit to cheer on Alcorn. They take on University of North Texas. All alums, fans, kids, don't matter. Your mama, your grandmama, whoever, need to be at the play-in game for the NCAA tournament for Texas Southern. They also need to be on board to cheer on Howard. All right. So all those teams need our full support, our very full and undivided support. So let's make sure that we can get these teams. Hey, Granny Aunt, we don't know who Jackson State playing. They will announcing it till tomorrow, so they will know who they playing tomorrow and if they are hosting a game. And if you're hosting a game, you need to be there. If they're hosting the game, they need to be there. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Go the CBI. All right, we'll follow him. Hey, Ruben, they'll have a home game just because they want to swag, and I don't see them being going on the road. But but I just want to say, like I said, I just want to say to everybody, thank y'all for prayers for my daughter and to the missus. We truly, my daughter says she truly appreciates it from everybody on here. That's correct, Miss Joyce. But I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Other than that, I'm gonna call it a night because I'm gonna go ahead and eat me some food and turn it over. So Thank y'all for watching this simulcast stream. HBCU Overdrive and SheLovesThee. If you haven't done it by now, please subscribe. Please like both streams on both channels. Also, comment, share, but most of all, subscribe to both channels. Make sure that you hit that notification bell to get everything, either HBCU Overdrive or SheLovesThee. Make sure you hit that notification bell. And then also for all people who want to be Overdrive fans, make sure you hit that join button to become an Overdrive fan. All it is nothing but $4.99. But Tuesday night we'll call it and I'm about to eat some pizza. Tuesday night we'll see what's up with the first four. The first four for Tuesday night games, and then on Wednesday I might have a show Wednesday, but more likely be ready for a show on Thursday. That's when the full tournament starts. Basically, Thursday is technically the second round. Technically, it will be the second round. So, to everybody that's on here, make sure you become a subscriber. So become a subscriber to both channels. As always, y'all be blessed, stay safe, and stay dangerous. Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Be there. Peace.